Welcome back to Tarot and Beyond. Today we're doing a divine timing reading. So this is looking into what is meant to be arriving in your life in the ideal divine timing. So this is perfect timing in order with the universe. We're going to look at what this is and when it may be coming in if we can get that information. So we have 3 piles for you to choose from today. Group number 1 with pile 1 is the alarm clock. Group number 2 and pile number 2 correspond to the pillow heart with wings. And group number 3 and pile number 3 correlate to the hourglass. So go ahead and select whichever image or pile resonates with you and use the timestamps linked in the description box or pinned in the comment section below to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings. If you do feel called to more than one, feel free to watch as many readings as you like. Sometimes watching all of them and choosing which one resonates best is helpful. Sometimes only watching the one that is feeling like it's calling to you is ideal. So use your intuition and trust yourself to know what messages resonate and which ones don't. Make your selection and we'll see you in your readings. All right, hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the alarm clock, we're going to find out what divine timing is at play in your life right now. So let's take a look at your cards. You have Yin with the number 2. So yin is more of a passive energy. It is more about receptivity. So again, when we're talking about divine timing, this is very much about allowing it to come to you, relaxing, trusting, being in the natural flow, which is very yin energy. You also have, yeah, exactly. Relax, everything's okay. Don't worry, it's all going to be fine. So Spirit is definitely giving you a message here in this reading that you will know when the timing is right. The alarm clock makes me think that, you can just relax and sleep. The alarm clock is set. It will go off when you're ready and when it's time to get up, So relax, everything's okay. Just allow yourself to go into a nice passive receptive state that gets you into this flow and into that state of trust. Okay, now these 3 cards are actually meant to be read together, so I think I'll save them for after we look at these ones. You have let go. Yeah, the cards are, I love when they're very clear like this, it's like yin energy, it's relax and then let go. Yeah, it's all kind of saying the same thing here. You also have show your support. This does feel like a very relaxed energy to me, and show your support in some ways is kind of giving me the idea that they're showing you that you are supported. Spirit is trying to show you that you are supported, and that way you can trust and let go and just get into this receptive state that they want you to be in, because that's going to be what's more ideal for your receiving of whatever this is that's trying to come in divine timing. You have be gentle with yourself. Okay, so yeah, definitely being in a more relaxed state and being more gentle and being more receptive and open. That's, very, very much the message here. Okay, let's take a look at these cards. So we have the planet, the sign, and the house. There's action and outcomes on these. So we're going to take a look at them and see what the message is here in regard to the divine timing. So you have Saturn. Okay, so Saturn is the planet of hard lessons. It's also the planet of timing. It rules time. It's the Time Lord. So this really shows that there's something that is most definitely divine timing at play here. And that's why it's very important that you just relax and let go, because any attachment to this outcome is going to actually hinder the results, or it's going to hinder the natural flow or process of what's trying to happen here. Saturn is the taskmaster, and it does teach you hard lessons. So this is about being gentle with yourself through the process of this, because Saturn can be a little bit of tough love. So relax, let go, know that your spirit team is on your side as you go through this maturation process, is what they just said. You also have, Pisces. Oh yeah, Saturn in Pisces, and then you have the 11th house. Okay, so Pisces is this very soft, very yin energy. It's very receptive, goes with the flow. It's very spiritually tapped in and tuned in. And then the 11th house is to do with your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your connections, your networks, and social media. So I feel like you're basically in a state right now where you're going through a pretty major life lesson. I just heard Saturn return, so some of you may be going through a Saturn return. They happen roughly every 28 to 30 years. My nose is getting really itchy, so and that's sometimes a sign of agitation energetically that I can pick up on. So that can also indicate that you're getting frustrated or that you're feeling agitated because something isn't kind of showing up in the way that you're wanting it to. Again, I think there is some level of attachment here to the outcome or to the process, or to an expectation of what things should look like by this time, that it may be causing some of the resistance here and some of the agitation. Okay, so let's read these across the board here. So the spiritual, the mental, and the physical aspects here, these are the outcomes actually. So let me put it into the action and then we'll look at the outcome after. So it says, be realistic about your dreams for humanity's sake. That's the spiritual purpose of this lesson. The mental aspect of it is be concerned about your idealization of your hopes and wishes. And the physical aspect of this, or the action you can take, is you must wait before you can be a part of something overwhelming and do it for the future. Yeah, they're telling you to wait here, definitely. Saturn makes you wait. Saturn makes you do it the right way. You can't rush things. That's why it takes a long time with Saturn. That's why it takes like 28 years for it to go through a cycle. I think that's why there's resistance here and there's attachment to an expectation of how this should play out. And that's why they're encouraging you to be gentle with yourself, relax, let go, and understand that there is divine timing at work here, which means that we cannot influence that. No matter how hard we try, if we try to push against it, it will push back. So it's better if we just relax and allow it to be what it is. Show some support to yourself here by being gentle and knowing that this is going to come about in exactly the right way at exactly the right time. And you can't rush. I just heard you can't rush a good thing. So it's like you're creating a masterpiece here, group number 1, and you really can't rush that. Okay, let's take a look at the outcome here, which we had before. You guys may have looked at it. I didn't really look at it yet. It says, the maturity that brings spirituality to ultimately experience freedom. The mental aspect is caution regarding trusting your psychic knowledge of associations. And the physical aspects is limits imposed resulting from the indecision of or about your circle of friends. Okay, so now that we see here with the 11th house in regard to your associations, your friends, this could be something about not feeling supported or how you show support to other people. Let me just tune into this and get more information. Yeah, I feel like this is to do with feeling as though there's a lack of support. And that's why they're asking you to be very gentle with yourself and to relax and just to let go. So you may feel as though your circle of friends don't support you, or that you don't have a network in general, or that you feel a little bit outcast from your tribe or from a community or something like that. Maybe you're lacking a sense of community or sense of belonging within a tribe. Even if you have a circle of friends, maybe you feel a little bit disconnected or isolated in some way, or that they don't support you in the same way that you support them. But what I see here is there is a divine process at work here. Obviously, this is a divine timing reading, and it's focusing on Saturn here. So it is about the process of maturation, and it's through this development of your experience of this situation that is causing you to mature. So it is a very spiritual process. Of course, we have Pisces here. So it's about learning to trust your intuition so that you can relax and let go. That's very yin energy. It's literally being more gentle so that you can relax, let go, surrender to the process, and allow things to unfold in a way that they're meant to. And they're showing me the rose here in this image. And it's kind of like you can't rush the blooming of the rose. You really can't. It's important that you let it grow and come to its full maturity in its own time. And like they said in the beginning there with the alarm clock, it's set. It will go off when it's time. You just need to relax and focus on you and what you can do right now to better your circumstances or your situation. So actually, you know what? Let's take a look at that. I want to grab some cards to see what that could be. So what can group number 1 do to improve their situation and to relax more so that this can unfold in a way that doesn't maybe cause quite so much stress or discomfort, or where they feel more supported? Okay. So you have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Hermit. Yeah, okay. So I think this is kind of what I'm getting here, is the same message of maybe you're feeling a little bit alone, not feeling supported, not feeling connected, not having that sense of community that you desire, that you need, or not really resonating with the people that you do have in your life, even if there are people around. You're still feeling a little bit alone or isolated in some way, wanting to show support or have support shown to you, but feeling as though people are not giving it to you in the way that you need. Queen of Pentacles is that gentle, nurturing energy. Again, we have yin here, so very important to just relax and surrender to this process of growth. And the Four of Cups. So I think this is where the attachment is. It's like there's either some, it feels like frustration is really what I'm getting from the Four of Cups right now. It's frustration with the current circumstances. It's like you're not happy with where you're at, but you're not where you want to be. So you're in this kind of no man's land where, it can get a little uncomfortable there. So the question is, well, what is this teaching you? What is this spiritual lesson about? Because it is most certainly a spiritual lesson. And I'm really seeing the word freedom standing out right now. So it has something to do with freedom. Are you free to express yourself in groups of people? Are you free to receive the support you need? Are you free to give the support that feels aligned? Are you free to go where you want to go and do what you want to do? Are you free to flow? Are you free to grow? Are you trapped in a state of being harsh with yourself or neglecting your needs? Because that can be a lack of freedom too. Freedom is really the highest form of empowerment. Okay. We also have the King of Cups. Even though this is a masculine energy, water is a yin principle or a yin energy in and of itself. So this is connecting to that nurturing. It's also Pisces here. Again, you have the Two of Pentacles, creating some balance, and the Fool card. Okay, so group number 1. I just want to say that I think that you're doing a good job, and I think that maybe you're being a little bit too hard on yourself here. That's kind of what I'm feeling, just intuitively. It's not even really from the cards that much. It's just I can kind of feel it. And I get the sense that you're really, really wanting things to change. And they haven't yet. At least not in the way that you would like them to or that you need them to. But I think that what you really need is something that you haven't quite admitted to yourself yet. It's almost like what you really need is to just be okay with what is right now. And that is probably not what you want to hear. If that caused a reaction emotionally or gave you any sort of trigger or catalyst there, be mindful of that. That's actually, I love triggers because they point you to the healing. Without the triggers, we would not be able to evolve. So I, embrace the triggers even though they're uncomfortable and we don't like them. And, Yeah, but it is what it is. It helps you to mature. So that's kind of what Saturn is testing you with right now. It's like, can you embrace the uncomfortable? Can you be okay with what you're not okay with, essentially? In the grand scheme of things, everything is okay. It's more so your experience or attachment to the expectation of the experience. Like maybe you thought you'd be at a certain point in your life by now, and you're not there yet, or at least not in the way that you intended to be or that you hoped to be. And I feel like you've been kind of trying to create balance with this, or you've tried to find a way to get things moving forward. It's so funny, you know what they're showing me with the two of, let me, if I can get this up, the two of pentacles here, you know those like railway track thingies that are, there's like the two sides and you like pump them like that and then they start moving. That's what I'm seeing there. And oh, the message I was originally getting from that was kind of like, you've been working really hard and feeling like you're not getting anywhere, because it's like you have to do a lot of work to try and get those things to move. But I also, then they showed it to me that you were the only one on it. So like you've been doing it by yourself, and it's two-sided. It's meant to be with two people, and that makes it go faster. So again, I feel like you have not felt like you've had the support that you needed, and maybe you've been kind of harsh on yourself because you feel like you should have been further along by now. But really, in reality, you're exactly where you need to be based on the fact that you have not had the support that you've really needed in that physical sense, in terms of your relationships, your networks, your groups. You know, it's all about who you know. It really is. And so if you've kind of been going it alone, it only makes sense that you're where you are. That being said, Spirit is showing me that you're actually very fertile. There's a little bunny here in the Queen of Pentacles. So you're actually very fertile, and you have the capacity to grow a lot in a very short period of time. But what they're saying here is that it's taken a long time to get to this shorter period of time where a lot of the growth is going to happen. It's kind of like you've been in a dormant stage for a long time, like you've been in hibernation. And let's say, for example, like cicadas, they go into dormancy underground for 17 years and then they come out, you know, and then it's like their whole life starts from that point on. So I feel like you may feel as though you've been living a life for years that has not really felt like it's been moving forward, but Spirit is here to let you know that when the time is right, you're going to really see progress quickly in a short period of time, exponentially more so than you have in this longer span. And that's because it's a Saturn process here. And it's like once you achieve the timing here with Saturn, once you learn the lesson, that's when you start to see the progress move really quickly. But the pattern here is really about letting go, trusting the process, trusting the timing, trusting that you're doing enough, that you are enough, and that you deserve support, being gentle with yourself and kind to yourself so that you can open up to actually receive the support that you truly need and desire from other people. Those connections are going to come in when you feel worthy of receiving that support and that nurturing and that help in some way. I feel like you're more of a giver than a receiver. So you want to look at that too. This could be part of that pattern, especially as it relates to your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. Like, do you feel like you've been going it alone? Do you feel like you've been putting in all this work, but nobody's been helping you? Have you asked for help? Do you feel worthy of receiving it? These are kind of the questions that I would encourage you to ask based on kind of what I'm seeing here in regard to this learning cycle. But really, the ultimate outcome of this, the goal to achieve here is freedom. We saw that in this card, and we're seeing it with the Fool too. So freedom is really the ultimate path that you're on right now, creating freedom for yourself. And that could be freedom through supportive connections, or freedom through a sense of worthiness and self-support, or both. Ideally, probably both, right? But I feel like this freedom is going to be the result of this process. And like they've been saying this whole time, you can't rush that. It's a natural cycle. It will bloom when it's ready, it'll just hit you, and you'll realize, oh, okay, I'm finally ready to just let go and accept this for what it is. And then you're freeing yourself from the attachment, the limitations, the restrictions, the struggle, and embracing where you're at, honoring yourself, being kind to yourself because you're okay with where you're at, feeling successful in your current state, even if it's not in full completion yet. And then because you embrace that, it ends up coming to a successful completion. I also feel like you may, I am getting like a sense of definitely career and support in your career is really the emphasis that I'm getting here. So it could be friends and things like that, but I'm feeling career too. So you may not be as far along as you would have hoped at this stage in your life in your career. You may feel unsupported in your career. Again, like you're just kind of going it alone, trying to juggle everything on your own. But I do see that there is support here coming in, or at least it's trying to. It's just you need to let go. Yeah, you just need to let go. You need to relax and be open to receive it, because there's support here that is trying to come in one way, shape, or form through a person, specifically a person. It's either this person or this person, depending on who you are. But there's people that are wanting to come in to help you. And so it's kind of like you just need to relax, let go, and open up to that so that you can actually receive it. Because, sometimes we want something so badly that we actually push it away. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. But it's all in divine order. So don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong. This is actually part of the process. So it's okay. Relax. It's okay. This is how it works. It's all going to come full circle. It's all going to come together. You'll see. Just have a little faith in spirit, and most importantly, in yourself, and also in other people. Have faith. Yeah, they keep giving me the word surrender. Let go, surrender. Yeah. Give it up to God, give it up to source, give it up to the universe. Just let it go. Take that burden off your shoulders. Accept it for what it is. Accept yourself for who you are and where you're at. And love yourself unconditionally. That's very King of Cups energy. That's when things are going to start to flow. And even if there's ups and downs, you're going to feel a lot more capable of managing them. And you're going to feel as though you're moving forward faster. I think some of this is also being a little bit more practical. Perhaps there have been kind of like idealizations is kind of what I'm feeling here. Like you've idealized something, whether it was a job, a career, a dream, a wish, a goal, a friend group, or even a romantic relationship or partner. I just get this feeling of like idealization. And sometimes when you put things on a pedestal like that, you're actually putting them up and out of your own reach. And that can actually be a defense mechanism that comes from unworthiness. Just saying. So that could be something to look at as well in this pattern. Yeah, it's kind of the energy that I'm getting from this dynamic is kind of like you doing stuff on your own, learning to trust your own wings versus the need or the desire or the involvement of other people or pairs of people. So there's, something about you versus relationships, you versus partners, you versus groups of people. How do those two mesh together, or do they mesh together? And if not, why? And what can you do about it? The timing here is it's going to take some time, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is a divine timing reading, and the divine timing here is going to take some time. But like they were showing us before, once you get to this critical point, at some point in the future, it's going to move a lot faster from there. Can I tell you when that is? No, I don't think I can. I'm just getting that intuitive feeling of it being blocked off, because that would simply cause you to become attached and have an idealization or an expectation, which is the opposite of what this lesson is trying to teach you. That would simply entrench you even further into the current state of misalignment, for lack of a better word. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I'm going to give it to you guys straight, because you are strong, powerful creators, and I know that you can handle it. You can handle anything. You've handled everything yourself so far. So you can do this. If you need the help, I think part of this lesson is asking for it. Could be consulting with someone older and wiser than you. Saturn is the old energy. The hermit is like an older energy. It's about wisdom. Somebody more experienced. Somebody who, they are willing to offer support and help because they've been in your position. They understand. They can empathize with you. They have compassion. So I think that seeking out this wise guide or mentor or supporter of some kind is also going to be something that's involved in this cycle. And if you haven't gotten to that stage yet, then that's probably the next step. As well as Spirit said, exploring your options. They mentioned something about exploring your options. They're saying expanding your horizons. Okay, that's the Fool energy. Yeah, it's like letting go of the attachment so that you can see the bigger picture, because there's something here that you felt restricted in. And as a result, there's been limitation, the experience of limitation. So they're saying if you can open up and expand your horizons, you're going to be able to see this a little bit more clearly. You're going to free yourself from the limitations that you've imposed on yourself or that you feel like others have imposed on you or circumstance has created. And you'll be able to have more of a playful approach, because I'm seeing the monkey here in this Be Gentle with Yourself card, and the Fool is giving me this energy of playfulness, innocence, lightheartedness, coming at it with a little bit of a fresh approach or a fresh energy so that you're not feeling quite so stuck in this, self-deprecation. It feels like that. It feels like you've been a little bit hard on yourself here, group number 1. So the first step here is really to support yourself. And the second step in that is asking for support from somebody who is in a position to be able to give that to you in the way that you need. Because that is supporting yourself. Asking for support from others is supporting yourself. Yeah, and then when you feel that sense of self-support and support from others coming in, and you're able to receive it, it's really going to take some of that burden off. You're going to be able to relax a little bit here and just let go so that you can get into this receptive mode, start, flowing with things, being gentle, being more playful, feeling more open, more receptive, more abundant, more successful, because this is the lesson. So if you want to feel successful, focus on passing the lesson, because it's like the spiritual gold is what Saturn is trying to provide you with here. It's the spiritual gold of your evolution through this learning cycle. Any other external product of that is secondary to that spiritual gold of that soul level evolution. The money, the friends, the support, the love, all of those other things, they're all secondary to the spiritual development that you're doing here. That's the most important thing. But it involves all of those other factors. So the number 12 is standing out to me. Pisces is the 12th house, that's why. The number 33 is also jumping out at me here in Be Gentle with Yourself. And the number 40 over here as well. The number 2. Yeah, that's predominantly the numbers that I'm seeing here. So any of those numbers could be relevant to you. They could be something to do with age. 2s can have to do with partnerships, relationships, balance. 2s can also symbolize trust too, and letting go. Like sometimes when I see 222, it's like just let go, have faith, let things unfold. 2s can also talk about taking the next step to create more balance in your life. So yeah, group number 1. This is a long cycle, okay? So just accept it. I mean, I can't force you to do anything. It's all free will, but you'll have an easier time if you just accept it. You just let go and honor the process and look at it from that bird's eye view if you can, kind of step back from your human experience of it and see it from the level perspective, which is that you are evolving. This does take time. The linear aspect of time that you're experiencing as your human self is not the full picture. It is a very, very finite experience in your eternal existence. So maybe just having that context will help. I don't know. It's worth a shot. It works for me sometimes. That's why, I can get frustrated too, feeling like I'm not where I want to be yet, or it's taking me too long, or other people are ahead of me. And then Spirit's like, yeah, but look at it from the soul perspective. You're exactly where you need to be. It's all in divine order. The timing is perfect for you. Their cycles are different than yours. You're not at the same stages, and that's okay. That's perfect the way it is. People who are ahead of you in quote unquote ahead of you in life may actually be at a lesser sort of soul evolutionary cycle. That's what Spirit's saying. So it's you can't really judge it based on that. People who you perceive as behind in life or doing even worse than you, they might be at a more advanced cycle, or it could be any number of any number of points on that spectrum. And it's like the spectrum isn't even a linear one, it's a circle. Because we're all just going around and everything leads back home. So it really doesn't matter where you're at in the grand scheme of things. It's just the ego that can get attached to things and expectations and idealizations. And and that's okay. That's part of this process too. So it's very much about balancing out the practical, mundane, human, egoic aspects of life with the spiritual, intuitive, developmental, soul evolutionary aspects, and how that relates to your dreams, your goals, your wishes, and how you receive or give support within groups of people. Okay, so that's the major theme here. The timing is going to take a while. It's like 12 to 24 years is what they're saying. You could be at any point in that, and I'm not going to look into it because it's going to be different for everyone. But that seems to be the general sort of time period that they are giving us here. Okay, so I will leave it at that, group number 1. I hope that this was supportive in some way, and that it served you, because that's my goal here. So that's what I see, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to dive deeper, I've got memberships available on the channel. There's 2 tiers you can choose from. Both of them will give you access to the members only readings, as well as the live YouTube readings that we'll be doing once a month to tune in and answer your guys' questions live on camera, using tarot, oracle, and my psychic abilities. If you have any ideas for upcoming readings, feel free to leave those in the comment section below, and I will consider using them as a theme for these readings. And if you want to shout out, put that in the comment as well. I'm happy to add that in the video. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the pink heart with the wings, then this is going to be your divine timing reading. Oh, Kitty is meowing. So Kitty is for confirmation. So there's something there to do with that symbol you chose. And I didn't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a pink pillowy heart with wings. So I'm interested to see how this relates to the cards and your reading. Oh, okay. I'm starting to see it already, even just with this one card. You have orphaned. So definitely something to do with the heart, heartbreak, loss, pain. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Wish upon a star. Make a wish and expect the very best. That's beautiful. And the wings on that heart are really kind of giving me the impression that it's like, where there has been pain, you're really healing and being able to take flight and get this wish going and feel this hope again, this innocence for life. Oh, right. I forgot. These are, I'm going to leave these to the side just for a minute because they're meant to be read together. So we'll look at these first and then we'll look at your karma cards. Okay, so you have romance. This is definitely related to the heart. All right, so yeah, now I can see. You have culmination of vision. So you've wished upon a star. There's a culmination of this vision in regard to some heart healing and romance. All right. You have empowerment. Yeah, this is a healing journey. This is divine timing in regard to this healing. Okay. There we go. I just wanted to adjust your cards to make sure they're all straight and all in frame. So the way these cards work is that we've got the planet, the sign, and the house. We're going to be looking at that and seeing the action and the outcome as to this divine timing. So you have Neptune in Aquarius in the 5th house. Okay. So Neptune is a very dreamy planet, and it can have to do with our dreams, with, like wishing upon a star. It also has to do with our subconscious mind, spirituality, our actual literal dreams, not just our like figurative dreams, but our actual literal dreams at night. And our definitely emotions, and healing and things like that. It can also represent illusion. The Aquarian energy is kind of like the opposite of that, though. Well, it's not really actually the opposite. I think there's some similarities or correlations between these, but Aquarius is much more focused on the collective, and it's much more sort of detached in a sense, and it is a visionary for sure. So you have culmination of vision. Something to do with this divine timing is involving love, romance, heart healing, personal empowerment, your dreams and wishes, and the culmination of a vision in regard to a much larger idea or endeavor. And then the 5th house is creativity, romance, fun, children, drama, excitement, things like that. So let's take a look at these. So actually, we're going to put these the other way, because the red side here is the action, and then the blue side is the outcome. So let's read the action in order. And we have the soul level perspective, the mental, and the physical. So the soul level perspective is inspire others with your vision, with the trust of a child. The mental aspect is be prepared to sacrifice for what's new and different about fun, romance, and making art. And the physical aspect of this is yielding is the only way to use an unconventional way and do it dramatically. So I definitely feel like romance and creativity and this innocence of the childlike state of being are being healed right now. You're working on that in divine timing, and it's happening. Oh, look at that. You got 35 and 45. I didn't even notice that. And 5. Lots of 5s in your reading, and 5s are about change, freedom, liberation, going through transitions. It's a very transitory energy. So you might be right in the middle of this stage where you were before in a state of being orphaned, feeling outcast, alone, abandoned, wounded, emotionally in pain. And then as you transition through this cycle and through this timing of these events unfolding, you're moving into and away from the really, the hard things, the stress, the struggle, and you're moving into brighter days. You're moving into more harmony. You're following your vision. You're like, I have a vision for my life, and I'm going to make that happen. But you may have had to sacrifice something in pursuit of this vision. You may have had to sacrifice love for the pursuit of a creative goal, or an artistic expression, or you might have had to sacrifice your art for romance, or the heart healing that you needed to do. But I do get a very innocent energy. The wish upon a star makes me always think of the Princess and the Frog, and it's like fairy tales and innocence and childlike wonder. And then the 5th house is that as well. So I feel like the more that you can connect to that innocence within you, the more that this process is going to just carry you forward very naturally. Let's take a look at the outcome here. Okay, so the outcome energy in the spiritual side of things is the idealization of genius to experiment with the power of love. This vision is connected to love. Definitely. You know what I never noticed before in this card? The negative space here in the tree forms a face. and it's like the leaves or butterflies or whatever that is. It kind of looks like a heart, and he's got heart eyes looking at this tree lady. And I get the sense that this vision that you've had, or this desire, or this something, it's very much connected to romance. It's very much connected to love. The mental aspect here is confusion regarding the discoveries of investment gambles and other games. And the physical outcome here is sacrifice resulting from the eccentricity of your creations. So I'm kind of getting a story coming through here about a connection in a past life, actually. So the divine timing at play here is very much impacted by past life experiences. So let me just tune into this past life and the themes around it so that we can have an understanding of how this is playing out now and what you can do to shift this. I definitely feel like it's something to do with heart healing and regaining your innocence and getting more playful. But let me just tune into this past life. Okay, so Spirit is actually telling me that it's not one singular past life. It's a series of incarnational cycles involving pain and the loss of innocence. And as a result, the kind of like distraction from your vision and the distortion of that goal or that desire. There may have been like overcorrections. It's like if you were lacking in love, there could have been overcorrections in regard to getting into relationships that weren't no, not that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. They're clarifying for me. It was about getting, the overcorrection was in the realm of feeling as though that love and that romance wasn't there, and then overcorrecting by focusing too heavily on other things that brought a sense of pleasure. So it's kind of like if you were lacking in the realms of love, maybe you overindulged in drugs, alcohol, gambling, food, things like that in these previous incarnational cycles. Because Neptune rules Pisces, and Pisces and Neptune definitely have to do with escapism and drugs, alcohol, and things that distort our mind for the purpose of pleasure, but sometimes it can be a little delusional. And that's why it can create confusion, and it challenges us to sacrifice things because they may not be the best thing for us. It's like trying to meet the need with a want, and so that need continues to go unmet, and it just kind of gets worse. So what the real core need here is, and the divine timing at play here is bringing you here to this reading for a reason, is to heal your heart so that you can free yourself from this pattern, because it does feel karmic. Yeah, it's definitely karmic. So being able to free yourself from this karma will set the divine timing in order in such a way that the wish that you've been dreaming of all this time in all of these different incarnations will finally come to a culmination point where you will actually get to experience this romance in a very fulfilling and divine way, where it's harmonious, it's balanced, there's reciprocation there, you feel a true and authentic connection, and there's stability, really. Like that's kind of what's being needed here, is like a sense of safety. Because that lack of connection and that lack of safety and that lack of love being poured into you in these many past lives was so painful that, you tried to escape it in these other ways. So it's reconnecting with the power of love in this lifetime so that you can connect back to your innocence again and heal your heart. And now love from other people is only half of the equation here. A romantic partner is not going to heal your heart. You've got to do that. But once you do, and this romance comes in, or maybe it has already, I don't know where you're at in this cycle. Maybe you're already past that point, and you've done this work and you've attracted this other person, because you do have empowerment here and culmination of your vision. So you may have attracted this person already, or you're about to. And that's really just a reflection of the healing that you've been able to achieve for yourself and the freedom that you've been working toward all this time from these different incarnational cycles and the karma therein. Yeah, I feel like you took some chances in past lives that didn't pan out for you. And some of that innocence was kind of lost. And you've regained it in this lifetime and a couple of ones previous to this also, because you've been actively working toward coming back into union with yourself, really empowering yourself, choosing things that were more supportive of you, and being very clear about and intentional about what that was. Let's get some tarot cards. Oh, let's actually get this deck instead. Let's get some tarot cards to get some clarification here for group number 2. In regard to this past cycle, what was going on? What is the timing around this? What do they need to do? What is the timing around this and what do they need to do to get this unfolding, okay, in exactly the right time and exactly the right way? Oh, I'm going to mess up all my cards. All right, so you have the 4 of Cups. Group number 1 just got this too. All right. The Star card. Well, there's definitely healing happening. And you have this Wish Upon a Star and the Star card. Wow, yeah. So you are stepping back into your empowerment again through this regeneration. You're healing your heart in a really big way. After all these lifetimes, you're finally getting your wish coming true. Okay. Strength. It took a lot of strength and some sacrifice for you to be able to do this because there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of lack. Like you didn't have what you wanted. And so you were investing in things that weren't really meeting that core need, but they were just temporary band-aids for it. And it just kept kind of cycling and repeating itself like that is what they're showing me. You have the Fool card. Group number 1 just had this too. Though you could have been drawn to both of those readings. If you were, I would check out group number 1 because it was talking about, cycles as well, like karmic cycles as well. So yeah, you're starting something new in this lifetime. Things are coming full circle. You're actually seeing things from a much higher vantage point. That's why it's so empowering and you're being able to break free from the pattern. And this divine timing is helping you to do that. You know, it's like you've done a lot of the prerequisite work. Not all of it, but you've done a lot of it is what they're saying here. Oh my gosh, beautiful. The 10 of Cups. This is the romance you've been dreaming of, group number 2. The love is here. It's either here now or it's going to be here soon. And if there's still a little bit of work to do, it's personal healing work. Being able to step into your empowerment, embracing your strength, reconnecting to your innocence and your healthy creativity and artistic expression, opening up to romance again, and that childlike wonder. That's exactly what the Fool is. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see him here with 5th house and Wish Upon a Star. You're meant to be in this state of peaceful, innocent contentment is what they just said. And then you have the Page of Swords as well. So this is the vision. This is the vision. It's a very innocent vision. Pages are young energy. So embrace that. Allow yourself to imagine, but not to the point of confusion, delusion, or escapism. It's like you've got to find this balance where you can have this vision and have a healthy level of delusion in the sense that you can positively brainwash yourself. Okay, what I mean by that is it's like self-programming, okay? And when you self-program through love, through self-acceptance, through action, through belief in your own abilities to create this, and then you actually back that up with the necessary actions and feelings and beliefs and things like that, it comes to fruition, right? Because you're embodying it, because you're believing in it. Then there's unhealthy delusion, which is where you're escaping from your current reality and dissatisfaction through escapist thinking, which can be either overly pessimistic or overly optimistic, but either way, it lacks action to back it up. So what I'm really seeing here, group number 2, is that for this culmination of the vision to occur, for this really healthy, happy, innocent, loving relationship to really be what you want it to be, it's important that you focus on your healing and what gives you a sense of fulfillment. And through that personal empowerment, getting very clear with yourself, identifying your dreams, your needs, and your emotional core wounds so that you can heal them, meet those needs, follow your dreams in a more practical way where you're still very innocent, you're still very creative and allowing yourself to flow with things, but you're not getting stuck in those old cycles or patterns of distraction and addiction in a sense, because you were trying to meet the need in a distorted way, or you were overcorrecting, or there was, escapism, because that's kind of what I feel here. Part of this is about acceptance, because they're drawing my attention to the word yielding right here, and it takes a lot of strength to just accept things as they are while at the same time remaining practically optimistic and open to what it is that you want to experience and create. So this is most definitely a maturity process. Like I was saying in group number 1, it's like this process of maturation. It's soul evolution cycles that you're in. And this divine timing cycle has been going on for 11 lifetimes is what they just said. Yeah, that's quite a long time. When I used to do soul realignment readings, I really got an idea of how long karmic cycles can go on for. The longest I ever saw was, I think, over 40 years, or 40 incarnations. That is a very long time. Ideally, we want to be dealing with our karmic patterns within one lifetime, but even, sometimes like 3 to 5 lifetimes is normal. Anything over 10 is kind of getting a little bit entrenched, and it can be a little bit harder to release it. But that doesn't mean it can't. Anything can be healed. Anything can be resolved. And it's coming up right now in divine timing so that you can understand it. And so you can see it for what it is. Or so that you can have confirmation about it. And kind of have an idea of what to do. So the key here to break this pattern is to choose to see things in a way that comes from love, that comes from trust, but most importantly, that comes from personal empowerment. So you're not giving your power away to somebody else to fill your needs. You're not giving your power away to something else to fill your needs. You're really autonomous here in your ability to heal yourself, to be there for yourself, to internally have that strength and that clarity of mind and that innocence to be able to hold this dream in your heart, but not allow it to control you or to limit you or to distract you from the practical things that need to be done. It's like not having this dream be part of the delusion, like something to chase but never to achieve, because that's part of the delusion here, the confusion from those past lives. So feeling worthy of receiving this romance and this love and this ultimate fulfillment of your emotional needs. That's what actually is going to require the strength here. It's your ability to accept that so that you can actually see your vision come to fruition. I'm going to clarify the star card just to see what you can do right now to heal. Queen of Wands. So, creativity. What's going to lead you in the right direction and get you healing and on this path? And you've probably already been doing this, but they're just really emphasizing creativity. It's this creative endeavor. It's this vision. It's this goal that's not necessarily associated with romance. So it's focusing on something productive, that's not a distraction in a negative way. Yeah, that's the most empowering thing. It's having this vision and working toward it to create it so that you feel like you have something that you're doing that is filling you up inside. It's like something that fills your soul, fills your heart, helps you to heal, helps you to feel more connected to yourself and to the divine because you're receiving this inspiration and putting it into action. It's very innocent and playful because it's something you enjoy. It could be a hobby, a skill, an art expression of some kind. But it doesn't have to do with the romance. But the romance comes in, or the love is there in a healthy way, whether it's with an existing partner or one you haven't met yet, when you are in alignment with your goals, when you are on track, when you are inspiring others with your vision. Because you're trusting yourself with the innocence of a child. You're believing in yourself for real. Not in a delusional way of like, I can do anything I want and then not really doing anything. It's like you're actually believing in yourself and then backing it up with action. You're walking the talk. You've got to go after your dreams, group number 2. It's time. You're ready. I think some of you are already doing this, but I can feel a large chunk of you guys here. You're still hesitating. I'm feeling like hesitation. I'm feeling like you're kind of waffling, going back and forth of, how am I going to do this? Or I don't really feel like I can achieve it. Or, it's just a pipe dream or something like that. And that's why they had me mention healthy delusion, where it's just really you're kind of subconsciously reprogramming yourself for self-belief. Because you've been in a state of lack of self-belief here because of the wounding that happened in some of these lifetimes. That was disempowering to you, but you can reprogram that. Takes a little bit of practice and some consistency and persistence, but that's the strength that you're developing here. You'll have to give up things. Yeah, you'll be prepared to sacrifice for this because you'll have to give up maybe habits, behaviors, or thought patterns that kept you in a state of dependency, or that kept you in a state of lack. Or that perpetual, dependency is really the best word for it, because it's like you're dependent on something outside of you to give you that feeling of stability or that feeling of connection or that feeling of wholeness. But really what you're craving is this satisfaction of seeing your vision come to fruition and the experience and the positive aspects of actually creating it. And then it's like so that's with this card here, with the lady looking at the butterflies, it's like she's got this vision, she's focused on that, and then boom, there's the romance that's looking at her. So it's like when you focus on what you desire and you go after it with all your heart and all your belief and all your faith, and you allow this vision to guide you rather than trying to control it, that is when this romance is going to present itself to you, because you're in alignment. And that's what this was about the entire time. That is the divine timing. It's you getting into alignment, and then it's like everything resets. The karma is cleared. You've learned the lessons. You've balanced out the cause and effect. You've changed your approach. That is what clears karma. Because you're not repeating the same thing. You're not doing the same actions. You're approaching it differently. You're going to get a different result. So that is what I see for you, group number 2. I just really feel like love and the granting of your deepest heart's desire is here. It is on the table. All you need to do right now is focus on what your vision is, how you can make that happen, and being practical while at the same time using that healthy dose of positive self-delusion to reprogram your mind to believe in yourself, and then take the practical actions to back that up so you make it real. Because delusion is only delusion if it's not real. But if you make it real, then it's not delusion anymore. All right, so focus on your goals here. Focus on your vision, empower yourself, do that healing, follow your heart, your inner vision, and everything's going to unfold really beautifully here. All right? Just have the strength to be able to let go of what's been keeping you stuck, or what's been limiting you or keeping you dependent. So I'm sending you so much love, group number 2. I really hope that this reading supported you and was helpful. In regard to the timing of this, I really just, I don't even want to look into it because they're telling me not to. So that's why I didn't say anything on the timing. And even now at the very end of the reading, I'm like, no, we can't look into that because that would really skew things for you. So it's important that you just focus on what you can do right now. And it doesn't really matter about the timing is what they're saying. It's all just going to work out when you're ready. So just focus on you, okay? Get yourself there. That's all that matters. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the hourglass, we're going to find out what divine timing is at play in your life right now. So we have your oracle cards here, and then we'll get clarifiers from the tarot. So let's find out. You've got bountiful harvest. Okay. You also have fresh approach. Okay. You have no need to worry. Here and now. Love from your parents. No matter what, your mother and father love you as much as they can. And then these cards are the karma cards, and they're planets, signs, and houses. There's an action and an outcome, and we're going to look at all 3 of those. So for the planet, you have the sun, which is really about the self. You have you have Scorpio, so the sun in Scorpio, and you also have the 10th house, which is to do with career. All right, so okay, these actually need to be the other way around because the red all needs to line up and the blue all needs to line up for action and outcome. So group number 3, what I'm really seeing here is that you are taking action in a new way, especially as it regards your career. I think love from your parents is more so about kind of what you're focusing on in terms of being a leader. So I'm not really seeing this as like your actual parents. I'm seeing it as you stepping into this sort of parent role in the sense that you're being in a leadership position, or you're taking charge or responsibility of some kind. And as a result, you are reducing a lot of stress in your life because you're focusing on what you really want in the present moment and opening up in a big way, which is creating a lot more abundance for you. So it's also shifting your sense of self is what I'm seeing. You're transforming, you are stepping into more power, you're taking on more power because power comes with responsibility. So as you take one on, you take on the other as well. And I feel like this is something new that you've never done before. So you're stepping out, or you're stepping into a new role of some kind. And I feel like you're very confident in this. So the divine timing at work here is like a big step up in your career, a big step up in your responsibility, and going in a direction that feels much more purposeful for you. Number 28 and number 32 are standing out to me. So the ages of 28 and 32 could be significant for you. Maybe they were ages that catalyzed this, or you could be one of those ages right now. 28 to 32 is also the Saturn return years, and I think that did come up in group number 1 if I remember correctly. But yeah, Saturn returns really set you on your path. Like if you're not aligned with your destiny or with your purpose, Saturn return really kind of forces you to change gears and get into a different line of work, or to learn a new skill, or to take more responsibility, basically. So I can see how that applies here, especially in regard to, starting something new, having this fresh approach to this sense of self and how that relates to your career. So let's take a look at your karma cards here. So the spiritual action here is demonstrate the extraordinary power of prayer responsibly. The mental aspect is realize the highest and lowest aspects of success. And the physical action is act like a leader, control the situation, and become a person of power and status. Now let's take a look at the outcome as well, because the outcome can give us a good idea of what it is you're working toward here, what the energy is in regard to this divine timing. So the spiritual outcome is the creation of purification to resurrect your destiny. The mental outcome is the gaining of respect for or from the secrets of where you're going. And the physical outcome is things brought to life or light resulting from the power of your career. Yeah, so this is really about your destiny and your career. This could actually be indirectly related to your parents. It could be something that your parents did. That's not going to be for everyone, but I did get that message just coming through as well. So it could be something that a line of work that your parents were in or something similar. This could also be related to doing something that your parents approve of or they kind of have encouraged you to do. Because I was going to say, it's something that your parents don't approve of, like you're going against the grain or being a little bit of a black sheep here. So, but that maybe that is a message that does need to come through because I just said it, but I really do feel the first one is somehow more relevant to this reading, but take it as it resonates. Yeah, I feel like you've kind of come to this point, group number 3, where you realize that time is passing and the grains of sand are falling through the proverbial hourglass, and you're kind of like looking at your past and looking at your future and deciding what you can do right now to move in a direction that's going to feel more aligned with who you are and your destiny. You're giving you a sense of purpose. And that, I think, is where this fresh approach is being born from. So you may be in this phase right now because it does feel very present. Whereas for groups 1 and 2, we were talking a lot about past energy and even past life energy. For you guys here, your divine timing is really like right now. Here and now. Yeah, exactly. It's right now. So it's changing your approach right in this very moment. And that is what's creating this purification and this resurrection of your sense of purpose and your direction. And it's leading you to your destiny, really. I do feel like you are going to be gaining respect for what it is that you're doing, or you're starting to respect yourself more for what you're doing. This could also be involved with the parents too. Like your parents could respect you more for feeling this sense of purpose and moving towards your destiny with a sense of, direction and autonomy. I just heard for somebody out there that your parents are proud of you. This isn't a message for everybody, but for somebody whose parent has crossed over and is on the other side, they want you to know that they're proud of you. And they're cheering you on is what they're saying. They're cheering you on from the other side as you take these steps towards your destiny and as you walk this path. You're being protected as well, because when you are in alignment, you are much better able to receive divine guidance, protection, and support. And that is what and blessings as well. They said, yeah, blessings too. So there's really no need to worry here. If you've been experiencing any stress or worry at all in regard to taking a new approach to the situation, they want you to know that this is a bountiful harvest for you. It's going to be really empowering for you on multiple levels. So it's going to expand your sense of self, your identity, your sense of power and respect for yourself. It's going to evolve how you relate to power and the dynamics of power that you have within the world, which is really interesting. I'm not quite sure what that means, but that message is coming through. It's going to transform your career 100%. Like this is really a massive phoenix moment is what they just showed me in my mind's eye. It's a phoenix moment, and that's very Scorpio. Like the base level Scorpio is the scorpion, the mid-level sort of energy of Scorpio is the eagle, and then the most evolved energy of Scorpio is the phoenix. So you guys are really transforming yourselves here and going through a massive death and rebirth. But there's nothing to worry about because it's kind of like a very natural process. It doesn't feel like an uncomfortable death and rebirth. It feels like a very empowering resurrection. Like, it's not necessarily a come to Jesus moment. It's more like, okay, I know what I want to do and I'm going to do it. And then doing it. It feels very purposeful is the way that I am, tuning into it and feeling it. And I'm feeling it in my body right now. It feels like there's a commitment that you're making at this point in your life. And there's a drive. Like I can feel the power coursing through my body. And there's this energy of like, I have to do this. I want to do this. I'm going to do this. It's very determined. It just feels like, it's destiny. It's a calling. It's not just a job. It's a calling. So there's divine timing at play here, and you're being activated at this particular time because it is aligned with your destiny, and you've gotten to this point in your life. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're 28 or 32 or 50 or 60 or 90 or 18. It doesn't matter, because whatever time period your soul has dictated that it's appropriate to step into alignment with your destiny, that is when it's going to happen. So they're saying just let go of any of the human concepts of expectations around career trajectory or life experience trajectory, or expectations around where you should be by a certain age. They're saying it's in divine timing. Divine timing is a higher order. It is not based on our human perceptions or beliefs or societal constructs. It is a much higher purposeful order that is based on the soul. And your soul's evolution is exactly where it needs to be. Exactly where it needs to be. So step into this creative energy, because I feel like part of this is you transforming yourself and becoming more creative, directive. And I'm definitely getting a leadership energy, whether it's you leading people or you leading yourself. It's very powerful. This is a sacred and divinely guided path. I mean, if you look at these cards here, they're really drawing my attention to the rainbows in both of these, and they look like these beautiful pathways. So it's a sacred divine path that is aligned with your soul. It's activating the rainbow body, and it's guiding you in the direction of your destiny. So all you really need to do is kind of just let go of any worry, stay focused on what you can do right now, and just start doing that every day. Taking this new approach to life, but specifically to your career. Success is written in the cards, is what Spirit just said. And then they showed me the word success right here. And then they were like, see, it's a card. It's written in the cards. But that's what is that? A turn of phrase? Is that what they call it? So group number 3, success is literally written in the cards for you. And they want you to know that. They're bringing that up for a reason, right? Like they wouldn't have me say that. They wouldn't have brought my attention there if you weren't meant to know that. So if you have been contemplating an idea, a new direction, a new approach, even, it doesn't have to be like something brand new in regard to the trajectory or the direction or the course of action. It could just be a fresh approach in what you're already doing, but doing it in a way that feels more aligned, or in a way that feels just more empowering to you. Then do that. For some of you, this could be involved in some way with a parent backing you financially. That's not a message that's going to apply to everyone, but it's coming through, so I have to say it. If it's for you, you will know that because you've probably already thought of this, or you've had conversations with this parent. It's one parent in particular, and they're going to show their support to you through financial backing. If this is a venture that you're taking or something you're doing. And there's going to be at least it looks like there's going to be a bountiful harvest from that. You know what? They're like, no, there is going to be a bountiful harvest from that because success is in the cards. So as long as you stay in alignment and you step up and into this leadership position, allowing yourself to transform to this powerful expression of yourself, it's inevitable that you will achieve success in this endeavor. I feel like like I was saying before, in regard to timing, it's right now. Like the door is opening. The spirit correcting me. The door is open. It's not opening, it's open. It is open right now. And they're saying it's not going to close, so you don't have to worry about that. Again, no need to worry. You don't have to worry about it closing. It's just going to remain open because you've kind of gotten to this point in your life and it's ready now. So the door, it was like sealed before is what they're showing me. Like it was like no entry until this point in time, and it was just completely barred off. And then all of a sudden you hit this point in your soul's evolution and boom, you unlocked it. And now the door just kind of automatically swung open, and it's going to remain open until you walk through it. And they're even telling me that if you don't walk through it in this lifetime, it will remain open until you do, whether it's 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 lifetimes down the line. So you don't have to worry about it. It's fine. It's there. It's available to you. But I mean, I would encourage you to walk through it in this lifetime. It would serve you best that way, that you don't have to kind of keep going back through the paces here and relearning these lessons. Whatever you've been doing, keep doing it, group number 3, because they're showing me that you've been progressing very steadily. Very steadily. And they are congratulating you on that. And they want to support you in this goal that you are working towards. So Spirit is very much on your side. Your parents are on your side in whatever way that they're able to be. Even if they're not showing support, at soul level, there is support there. It's kind of like their higher selves are in support of you, even if their human ego selves are not. But I think for most of you, your parents are supporting you either emotionally, or spiritually if they're on the other side, or financially for at least 1 or 2 people that particular message came through for. So I'm just personally curious about what this new venture is, or this approach, what this fresh approach is. So just for my own sake, I'm going to ask that and see if we can get some clarity on it. I know this is a divine timing reading, but we already know the timing. It's right now. So that's why I want to know what is the thing that you're doing? I'm just going to be a little nosy here. Okay. Well, that's interesting that you have the 9 of Swords here and the 8 of Swords and the World. Okay, and these did come out together, so I'm going to read them, as a team, as a unit. 9 of Swords is worry, and 8 of Swords is feeling trapped in your own mind and overthinking things and feeling lost and not being able to find your way. And the no need to worry card is here. So you're very much taking a fresh approach and starting a new thing here in regard to stress, worry, and overthinking. You may have talked yourself out of things in the past, or procrastinated, or self-sabotaged. And what I'm seeing here is that you're closing out this cycle. The World card is very much, actually, I'm going to put these right here because they go with this no need to worry card. The World card is the completion of a cycle. And that is why this door is open. It's even like that. It's like the egg, the world, the door. This is why it's opened, is because you've come to the end of this phase, or this part of the journey. You learned the lesson, you completed all of the steps, and then the door opened. This is exactly where you're at now. So this is, again, it's something that you've managed to achieve. So you've probably changed how you think. In the last little while, group number 3, you've probably shifted your perspective, or you've changed your thought patterns, or what you believe to be true, or what you allow your mind to focus on, because mental discipline is kind of what I'm seeing here. All right, let's see what else your cards are saying. You have the 7 of Wands. Yeah, you might have to stand up for what you believe in if your parents don't agree with what you're doing. You might have to set some boundaries there and kind of defend your position or your stance, or just do what you're going to do and don't worry about what anybody else says. 8 of Pentacles. Get down to work. You're taking a fresh approach on how you do something here, and it's like this is the master craftsman, he's mastering his craft, he's learning, he's studying, he's applying, he's doing it over and over and over again to get better so that he can master it and become very successful. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is that you are standing into a position of power and practicing your craft so that you can master it, getting out of your own head and getting out of your own way, walking through this very open door that you have earned. You earned it, you got yourself here, group number 3. And then let's see what else. Moving forward, this is responsibility in this case, because we are talking about responsibility here. 10 of Wands is you taking on more responsibility in this career path and being open to some of the burdens that entails. You also have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like the Knight of Pentacles here it did kind of come out in reverse, but I did turn it around, and I'm making note of that. Because I just do things intuitively, right? Like everything I do in readings is completely intuitive. And I feel like I just want to get these cards straight, because it's going to bug me if I don't. But I feel like if there is anything that is holding you back, it's really only maybe a lack of finances. But I think that there's going to be support there in one way, shape, or form. Either you're creating it for yourself, you're getting support from a parent or a family member, or you're manifesting it in such a way that Spirit is kind of helping you out by bringing this money in. I just got a pitch change in my left ear, so that is significant. So this could be coming from Spirit, the money that you need to be able to launch this venture or to do this project, or to maybe it is changing careers or doing something different in a new way, or building yourself up in your current career so that you can get to this point where you feel more stable, more abundant, and successful. I mean, I feel like it's not really about the money here. It's about the mastery of your craft and what you feel destined to do. But the money is a factor in how you're able to do that, or in, it is. It's how you're able to do that. It's kind of like a means to an end. The money is like a means to an end. Okay, so Spirit is going to provide a way, is what they're saying. They're going to give you the resources you need, or they're saying, we're going to supply you with the resources you need as you continue to do the work, because it's like you're earning it. You're putting in the work, and therefore you're going to get paid for it at soul level. Yeah, makes sense. So I feel like part of this is also about learning kind of the dynamics of success, like what makes you feel successful. And what does that entail? How do you approach that? What do you need to do? Because I feel like taking on a lot of responsibility can go two ways, right? It can be a burden that really weighs you down if it's not aligned with you, or it can be something that really helps to elevate you and expand you if it is aligned with you. So I feel like you're kind of exploring that dynamic as well, or that duality of this success and of the kind of work that you put in and the approach you take to this work. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And I think maybe that's also what the Knight of Pentacles sort of reversed was talking about here. It can be about kind of going a little bit more slowly so that you can identify what works best for you, so that you're not taking on too much and kind of weighing yourself down. and then slowing down your progress, but you're taking on enough to help you to raise your I want to say status, but that's not the right word. It's like raise your skill level. Yeah, skill level. Because if you shirk your responsibility, then you don't get better. You don't improve. You don't learn anything. And if you take on too much responsibility, then you weigh yourself down, and it's like you burn out. You can't burn the candle at both ends and expect to be successful. So I feel like you're really kind of trying to find the middle ground between those and create some harmony and some balance. And when you do strike that balance, that is when you're going to be successful, because that's the alignment, and you're going to feel good while doing what you love. Yeah, that's what they're telling me here. Love that for you, group 3. Wow. And it doesn't even have to be about like career, quote unquote, in terms of like work or business or a side hustle or a venture that you're launching or rising in the ranks in your corporation. It could also just be like something that feels like a calling to you. So like, let's say, for example, you're retired and you're not working anymore. This is something that is destined for you at soul level, and it feels like a calling. It gives you a sense of purpose. That's what they mean here. And that can most definitely apply to your career or a venture or an entrepreneurial business or whatever. It's anything that is aligned with you at soul level that gives you a sense of purpose, and it does feel like a calling. And I see that you're not going to hold yourself back anymore. The divine timing has really kicked in, and your soul is like, all systems go. All systems go. We're not holding back anymore. We're not taking on too much and having that be like a self-sabotage mechanism. We're not procrastinating and shirking responsibility because we're scared we're going to fail, or we're scared we're going to succeed. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it daily. We're going to keep adjusting the approach until we find a way that works the absolute best. We're going to master it. We're going to step into this leadership position. We're going to change the way we think about ourselves, and then boom, manifested. You come to this completion, because this is like a whole other world cycle. You completed one to get here, and this one that you're going into in regard to your career and whatever this happens to be is a whole nother one. And it's much bigger. But it's going to be very satisfying in the long run, is what Spirit just said. So even if it does require you to take on a little bit more in terms of what you're doing or what you need to learn, is what they just said. You might need to learn some new skills and practice those to really get this off the ground or get it moving forward. But I feel like because it's a calling, because it's like pulling you forward, or there's like this driving force within you that's just almost pushing you forward or pulling you forward. It feels like a magnet. It's very tangible in the way that I'm feeling it in my body right now. It feels very powerful. So I don't even think that it's like I need to learn this skill and I need to do this and I have to do this every day. No, it feels like I need to do this. I want to do this. What can I learn? What can I do? How do I need to approach this? And I really feel like there's this motivation. That's really the energy I'm getting behind it. It's like this deep core desire that's leading to this very, very strong motivation to initiate, to pursue, to persist, and ultimately to create. So this could be something creative. I mean, really, in reality, everything is creative because we're creators. So everything's creative, but specifically, it could be something to do with creating something physical, or creating a movement, or creating a course, or creating a product. Yeah, creating something that helps people transform in the same way that you transformed yourself. Because Scorpio, again, it's about transformation. The sun is the self, and the 10th house is the career, your sense of purpose, your notoriety, your public image, how you're seen by the world in regard to what you do. So I feel like this could be involved in some way with helping people or teaching people or sharing something that helps people transform themselves or their lives. It could even be like teaching people to step into leadership positions themselves. So it's like once you do it, then you'll turn around and teach other people how to do it and get people into their power, seeing themselves differently, helping them be successful in their careers. I don't think that's going to be for everyone, but it's a strong message, so I think it's for a lot of people in this group. So just, again, take it if it resonates, but I'm feeling that one pretty strongly, so that gives me a good indication that there's a large number of people in this group that are going to be doing that. Yeah, they keep drawing my attention to the world here, and this one here, I think it's the moon, but actually the way that the clouds are sitting on it, it does look like the world as well. So it's like the world, and the world. So it definitely has something to do with the world. You're sharing something with the world, you're teaching something to the world, you're showing up more publicly in the world. Worldwide, I just got World Wide Web. That's the internet. Yeah. It could be something that goes worldwide on the internet. And they're saying the time is now, the time is now, the time is now in my head. So if you've been planning on launching something, or if you've been working on launching something, or if you've had an idea, the time is now. Yeah, they're saying start it, do it. Make it happen. Start creating, start producing, start publishing, start sharing, start creating. Make the website, launch the blog, film the video, post it, create the account, self-publish. Yeah. Worldwide. Okay. Wow. This is really cool. And I'm getting like 10 of Pentacles energy. I know we don't have that card here, but for whatever reason, they drew my attention to the baby unicorn in the parents card. And they told me, it's kind of like you're going to be creating a legacy for your children. And even if you don't have children or you're never going to have children, it's like you're leaving a legacy in the world in some way. And that is what 10th house is about. But it's definitely going to be successful. It's going to be long term. It's going to be long standing is what I mean. Yeah, it's going to be long standing. And I think that's why the Knight of Pentacles was reversed as well, is because this is taking a while. If you're going to build something really, really good quality, it does need to be done right, which means you need to do it over time. And it's kind of like, I think regular cars can be made within a matter of days or weeks, but Bentleys take 6 months to make. And it's because they're solid and they're super high quality. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here is like, it's going to take a while to make this, but the reason being is because it is a masterpiece and it cannot be rushed. So just focus on continuing to develop your skill, continuing to learn what you need to learn to do that, to create that, to put it out into the world, make it public in some way. While the sun shines, make hay, they just said. And the sun, and then the Eight of Pentacles always kind of reminds me of that as well. While the sun shines, make hay. It's like the sun is shining, the moment is now, do it, do it, do it. They keep saying that. Now they're showing me that Shia LaBeouf meme where he's like, just do it. Just do it. Yeah. You guys, you need to just do it. It's time. You're ready. You've achieved everything you needed to up until this point. You've gotten the prerequisites out of the way. Like, let's say, for example, you wanted to get into university. You've got the prerequisite credits from your, previous schooling. Or you want to apply to a job and you feel like it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, or out of your, it's just like out of what you thought you would be able to get. They're saying like, actually you do have the qualifications. Your resume is good, you know, and you've got the prerequisites that you need to be able to do this job. There will be some skills that you need to learn. There will be some training that you need to do, but you'll figure it out, and you're actually the perfect fit for the job. That's why this is destiny. And you know, this is not, I'm using this as a metaphor. It could be like a literal job like that, but it's a metaphor for whatever this project or this career is for you. So yeah, that is what I see for you, group number 3. Let me see if there's any more messages from Spirit before we close out the reading here. Yeah, they just said, no, that's good. Keep doing what you're doing. For those of you who haven't started yet, they're really kind of encouraging you to start, and they don't want to rush you or anything like that. They want you to know that there's no time limit here. If you feel like the sands of time are slipping away, they're saying, don't worry. They're not. You're fine. But don't allow yourself to rest on your laurels because you know that is what they're saying. They don't use that as an excuse to procrastinate further. Just get up and do it. You'll love it. It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to feel good about yourself and what you're creating. And you're going to look back and be very, very thankful that you did this, is what they're saying. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. That is what I see for you, group number 3. This was a beautiful reading, very different than 1 and 2, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you for being here. I hope that it resonated and that it supported you in this here and now moment in regard to your career. And if you guys enjoy my reading style and you want to go deeper, I do have memberships available here on the channel. There are 2 tiers you can choose from. Both of them will give you access to the members-only videos, as well as the live YouTube readings that we'll be doing once a month, where I connect to you guys in the memberships and answer your questions live on camera. So that is an available option if you guys are interested and you don't see the join button. That's probably because you're on an iOS device and you will need to go through a web page or a desktop. So just so you're aware of that. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.